Red rose, max with the rose gold. Whoever counted me out, they can't count. Oh!
Tell me something I don't know. What? Tell me something I don't know. What? Tell me something I don't know. Like when it drop home, gave in the chokehold. Tell me something I don't know. What? Tell me something I don't know. What? Tell me something I don't know. Like when it drop home, gave in the chokehold. They call a podcast Poppy. King goes, I see they trying to copy.
Welcome in, everybody. It's the coach, and you're tuned in to Madden 19 on EA Sports. Up next, we've got a good one on tap between the visiting Houston Texans and the Jacksonville Jaguars. I'll be back with you again with scores around the league at halftime. But kickoff is right around the corner. And standing by to call the action, here are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the Sunshine State in TIAA Bank Field here in Jacksonville. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Houston Texans and the Jacksonville Jaguars. Alongside my partner, Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Charles, you look at this Jaguar team. They've certainly found their groove of late, winners of 5 in a row.
And I think the sky's the limit for this team. They're playing the best football that they've played in a long time.
Meanwhile, for our visitors, the Texans, it's late in the year. We all know it. We've seen the calendar for these guys. Their bodies could probably use a break, but they have to push on.
And they're really not as worried about that as maybe we think. They know they've got the entire offseason to rest. All they care about is the game in front of them and finishing strong.
Great way to start the drive. 20 big ones and a first down.
Looked like the defense put pretty good pressure on him, but he's able to flush out to his right to try and evade people. On the run, had to get on his horse. Still accurate when he throws a nice pass for a first down.
Now wins. And an alley to run. And he will avoid the contact as he slides to a stop. He'll get 8 on the scramble there. It'll be second and a couple.
Go!
Now a play fake. Wentz. He's going to look for Allen now on the deep ball. Man, it's caught at the 6-yard line. And he takes it in. Touchdown, Jacksonville. Keenan Allen hitting double digits with his 10th touchdown of the season. And the Jags have taken the early lead. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. Now a play fake here on first down. Over the middle, complete. That's Glover. And he'll be tackled right on the chalk of the 45. The drive starting play, a good one. Give him 19.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start, getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
On 2nd and 10, Goff. And his throw is incomplete.
Let's give some credit to the defensive guys on that play. Able to bat that one away. Sure looked like they were trying to hit the corner route.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. Goff throwing again. And he's going to be taken down. Goff is sacked.
They just gave up a sack there, and if I'm not mistaken, they gave up 4 last week, didn't they?
Yes. And just looking really porous, aren't they?
They really are, and I'm wondering if they're going to have to start thinking about keeping the tight end in, maybe a back, someone to help assist, because right now, the quarterback's been getting hit a lot in the last couple of games. Good blocking there, nearly sprung him. As it is, it'll go as a 19-yard return. And the Jaguars go on offense, first down and 10. And the Jacksonville offense on their way out again as we take a look at the playoff race in the AFC. As we take a look at the playoff picture, and certainly a lot of jostling still to go in these final few weeks. For the moment, they would be a wild card team, far from locked up, but that's why this is exciting. These last few weeks, a lot to play for. Yeah, exciting for us because we get to talk about it, and, you know, at the end of the day, 6 teams are going to go from each conference, and guess what? We're going to have a playoffs. But nerve-wracking for all the people involved, all the teams, because their goal is to get there. And anything less than that makes the season a disappointment. So they've got to be primed now for a big finish to their season. Wentz will try again on second down. Man open, that's Calvin Ridley. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. The numbers for him from a week ago: 4 catches, 88 yards, and a touchdown. 5th in the league in receiving yards, and that's a strong category. I mean, if you're in the top 5 in anything, I don't care whether it's football or tiddlywinks, you're having a nice season. Wentz now on first down. And Olsen over the middle. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. 10 more there and another first down. So a 1st and 10 now in Houston territory at the 47. Again, it's Wentz. Steps away to his left. He'll get 5 out of the scramble. It's second down. Okay, he's not going to get the first down, but this is still a nice job of buying some time and then running to get to the sideline and get out of bounds and avoid the big hit. On second down, here's Wentz. Throw right side, caught by Ridley. And he will get this into the end zone for a Jaguar touchdown. Calvin Ridley, touchdown number 18 on the year. And the Jaguars add 6 to their lead. Point after, right down the middle. And it's now 14-0. The drive summary that time, 5 plays. And it culminates in a Jags touchdown. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. Out comes the Houston offense as they get set to take over here. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it? It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early. Probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive. Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. Well, you're down early. How do you get back in the game? Maybe establish the run. I think they're trying to do that. Now, I'm with you on that one, and what I like about the message is that there's no panic from the head coach. He's already told his offense coordinator, let's run the football. Let's get things settled down a little bit and find our way back into this game. These are his numbers from last week's contest. 5 catches, 70 yards. And I get the feeling that he loves this matchup. I mean, the unit he's going against is in the bottom half of the league against the pass. He had to have circled this one on the schedule and said to himself, this should be a big game.
Hey, look! 180! Al, we go!
And they'll run it here. And he'll be brought down right at midfield after a gain of only a couple. They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping
those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
From the 50, it's gone. Over the middle, it's complete. And he's got this to the 30 before being taken down. And a nice gain of 21 yards.
As far as tight ends go, this guy's not a speed burner. He's much more of an inline blocking type of a tight end. But how about this last play? Made a nice catch and picked up a first down.
That's what impresses me about him. When he's called upon, usually gets it done. Gone. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Glover. And he's able to get it to the edge of the red zone at the 20-yard line. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
Well, as this game continues to evolve in the NFL, you know how much coaches love run after catch, but you know what they love even more? Completion.
Yeah, just holding on to the ball.
Catch it, cover it, tuck it away. Whatever you get after that is almost gravy. That's how a lot of these receivers are being taught now.
So second in inches after that first down complete. Completion went just shy of the marker. And they'll go on the ground. And they'll get this down to the 10. It's another 10 yards on that one and another first down.
I have to admit, I'm excited by that play call and the end result, because this is a team that's down big early in the first quarter, and a lot of teams will just panic, abandon the playbook, and just start firing the ball all over the place. It's way too early for that. Stick to what works for you.
Down double digits, and we talked about their game plan being both running and passing there. You're right. They're sticking to the game plan, getting the ground game going.
A lot of football left to be played.
A gain of 7 that time. Second goal.
If you're running out route, it's likely you're going to end up near the sideline. And what did we just see there?
Toe tap.
You got it. The benefits of practice. Toe tapping, foot dragging, picking it up, and making sure it was a catch.
From the 2 now, second and goal. It's a 5-receiver set. 3 to the left, 2 to the right. Goff now looks to throw. And he'll take this one in for a Texans touchdown. A great effort there with touchdown number 8 on the year. And the Texans have cut it to within a score. Getting your back involved, what's the importance there in the passing game?
Well, oftentimes you can create mismatches because who's going to cover him? And you get him into space, which is where he likes to operate with the ball in his hands. Oftentimes makes people miss, gets that run after the catch, and off he goes.
And into the end zone. Extra point splits the uprights, and that'll make our score 14-7. This game back within a touchdown now as the kickoff's away. Fielded about a yard deep. And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. The Jaguars getting set to go. And right now they're saying, hey, let's keep this going. 2 drives, 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, can't ask for a better start than that, can you? I mean, this is the way you practice it. This is the way you rehearse it. But right now, the play calling, they're locked in really well.
They go play action here on first down. Man over the middle, and it's complete. And they nearly get this all the way to midfield. Mark him down at the 49. That one goes for 24 yards. Wentz now already over 150 yards through the air in the opening quarter. It's first and 10. Dancing to his left. Looking middle, and it's incomplete. The safety, Keanu Neal, there to knock that one free.
Nice play there to force the incompletion. And to me, one thing's for sure. When you're the underdogs and you're playing on the road, you absolutely have to get takeaways. You've got to get the ball from them.
Yeah, win that turnover battle, going to be key. They didn't get one there, but you get the feeling they keep making plays like that, they might just get a few.
Yeah, once you get one, defensive teams think they come in bunches.
So now second and 10 after the incompletion on first down. From the gun, it's Wentz. He's going to rifle one deep left. This is caught inside the 15. And he'll be down deep into Houston territory. It's a big play for the Jaguars. 41 yards.
Now, that play will end up on the highlights, and you'll see it all over the place. But what you won't see, the offensive line that bought the extra time, that allowed for the big completion downfield, those guys made that play possible.
Wentz now to throw. And he takes it in. Touchdown, Jacksonville. 3 touchdown passes now for Carson Wentz. And the Jaguars add on to their lead.
Well, Brandon, if we go back to our meeting with the offensive coordinator, he showed us his script. Didn't show us everything now. He said, here's the script for the game. I think everything's going according to plan in a big way. 3 drives, 3 touchdowns.
Yeah, that's about as good. That is as good as you can do, I guess. So, well done.
Yeah, well done indeed. Tremendous execution.
Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. And this should be the final play before the quarter ends. On first down, it's gone. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. The ball comes out, and did the Jaguars come up with it? They did. Alongside the former defensive back, Charles. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Now after the fumble recovery, it's Wentz. Wide open, it's Allen, complete. And finally down he goes as they work it inside the 10 to the 7. A really good pickup of 28 yards.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And they'll be driven back here, losing yardage to the 9. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down.
Perfectly designed blitz right there. They took that one from the grease board to the field because they were able to free up their linebacker to get into the backfield and spill the play.
Now Wentz throwing on 2nd down. The quick slant caught. A touchdown-saving tackle there. Now it's 3rd and goal. Wentz now on 3rd and goal. And that is caught. Touchdown, Jacksonville. Carson Wentz with touchdown pass number 4 on the afternoon. And the Jaguars add 6 to their lead. Well, it was 3rd and 1. I was expecting run, so much for that. They pass it, they score it.
That had the feel of the head coach telling the offensive coordinator, you've got 4 downs here. We're going to go for it on 4th down unless there's a disaster on 3rd. Go ahead and take a shot if you want to. And he gratefully accepted the opportunity and did exactly that. If they didn't get it there, that had the feel that they would come back and try it on 4th down.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. There again is the running back as he trots onto the field. You can count his carries on one finger. They've only given him the rock one time, Charles. What gives?
So we can't draw any conclusions just yet. He has to touch the ball multiple times in order to get into a rhythm and have a chance to have success. You know who else gets into a rhythm? The offensive line. They feel better about what they're doing when they know they've had multiple opportunities to get it done.
Yeah, well, the conclusion we can draw so far, they're losing here in the 2nd quarter. Let's see if they change tunes. They'll run it now out of the gun. And not a whole lot doing there as he'll get it up to about the 28-yard line. It's a gain of about 3, but it's going to leave him with 3rd and still 7 yards to go.
Sometimes your philosophies get challenged at times you don't want them to. They did try to stick to the running game on the first 2 plays. Didn't amount to much.
And now facing a 3rd and long at the outset of this drive. Toward the sideline, and he will have the first down as he was able to keep the feet in bounds. 7 yards there, good enough to move the sticks.
When you're struggling on offense, you're looking for anything possible to get you going. Sometimes you do it like basketball teams that don't normally press. You put a press on, bring people to life, make them move a little bit quicker. Maybe that'll help them as they head towards the half.
And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat. And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and that's going to lead to a 3rd and 12. Out of the gun, gone. Now he'll let it go deep over the middle. And that's caught inside the 30. And all the way down to the 24-yard line. It's a big play on third down for the Texans. 42 yards.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play. They picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
To throw is gone. It's complete on the bubble screen. That's Glover. And he'll be a couple yards shy of the red zone here at the 22-yard line.
Is that not the very definition of a tough yard gained?
Now, is that one where as the receiver you go to your quarterback and say, why'd you even throw that?
Yeah, I think you do, and I think you wonder what type of a route are you going to send me on that only 1 yard's going to be the result? If I'm going to go in there and take contact, let's go and get something out of it, not just 1 yard. The passing game's been working quite well so far, but the running game's been a little bit of a struggle, and that's a surprise to me. Typically, when you can throw it, you've opened up lanes for your runners.
Here's gone. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up fourth down. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning. Hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces fourth down. And his kick here is good. And high fives for that one as that drive ends in 3. So in the end, they had the ball for 10 plays, but the drive gets them 3, not 6.
Is it okay if I give credit to both sides on this one?
Absolutely.
All right, let's start defensively. They hung in there. 10-play drive, but they stiffened when they got close to the goal line, made them kick a field goal. And for the offense, 10-play drive. They might be a little disappointed they got a field goal, but they moved the ball down the field with dispatch and came away with points.
This is taken at the 3. Oh, good move. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line. And out now comes Jacksonville as they get ready to go. They fake the give. Now Wentz. Looking deep downfield. And it's intercepted. Picked off by Jordan Lewis. Oh, he breaks a tackle, and he's got an alley. And a huge return as he'll take this one all the way down inside the 30-yard line.
You're looking there at a defensive back who's maybe a step slower than he was when he came into the league a decade ago. I know I questioned his speed coming into the game, but what he's lost in speed, he's more than made up for it with intellect. And that's a great job of knowing how to position himself to make that interception.
He's going to flip one out here to his running back. Great footwork, but still wrangled down before reaching the 20. It's a gain of 7, and that'll make this a second down.
But it's tough to be a defender in today's NFL because there's so many things to account for in today's passing game, including the back sneaking out of the backfield. Not quite as bad as a turkey bowl where you have that center-eligible stuff, but still a lot of guys to account for.
Only a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a third down.
And this is why aggressive defensive coordinators love to blitz. It wreaks havoc because they end up taking their attention to the blitzers, freed up the D lineman to make the play.
False start, offense.
Oh, jumping early from his tight end spot. Maybe trying to get a jump start on that route.
Yeah, I think you're exactly right about that. And oftentimes when you see that, that means the play call was supposed to come in his direction, and he was eager to go catch a pass.
Throwing on third. Gone. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. Just a 1-yard pickup on the play, and that's going to make it fourth down.
Partner, I think that completion takes the definition of dink and dunk to a different level, doesn't it?
It does, and the defense was right there, kind of played into their hands. And his kick is good. And the drive will wind up yielding 3. They got the interception, but very little movement after, and that forces him to settle for 3. And it does feel like settling when that happens, doesn't it?
It certainly does, but we got to give a lot of credit where it's due, and that's to the defense because they ran onto the field. This is what we call sudden change, right? Interception, you got to go put out the fire, and they did, holding them to a field goal.
Carson Wentz, along with his offense, heading back out there for their next possession. They've got the lead. He's a big reason why. Looking sharp so far.
And as we travel around the league, We see quarterbacks get it done in a variety of ways, but today's NFL does tell us one thing. If that guy doesn't play well, their team's not going to win. And right now, he's got his team in the lead.
And now they'll look to extend that lead. Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete. Once again here on 2nd and 10. The attempt on the dive, and he has it. What a catch. He's exceeded his receiving yards from a week ago, and we're still in the first half. It's a first down. 2 minutes to play here in the first half. Back with more from Jacksonville. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back after this. And we remind you, coming up at the half, we'll join who, Charles?
The coach.
The coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from games in progress, as well as scores from earlier today.
The coach.
Sorry, we get slap happy up here sometimes. Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
And he's got a man open. That's Allen. And they're well past midfield, just a yard or two shy of the 40. First down, Jacksonville. The passing game looking sharp on this drive for the Jags. On play action, Wentz. He's going to fire one deep over the middle. And at the 7-yard line, the catch is made. That one goes for 36 yards. 2 big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit him, but now they got to get ready. It's 1st and goal. Again, they'll throw with Wentz. Got his man. It's caught. Touchdown, Jaguars. As his guys are in for 6, and the Jaguars add on to their lead. And all about timing there on that short slant, Charles.
Exactly right. That was timed up so well. The route, the throw, touchdown.
Extra point right down the middle. And the lead now to 3 touchdowns at 21. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And now out comes Houston. And last time able to get 3. It's not what they wanted. They wanted 6, but they got at least something. They mustered something out of the drive.
They'll take it. Just, I like the way you've described it. Not ideal, but they'll take it. Anything to put some points on the board. But this time on offense, they don't even want to see the field goal kicker trot on the field. They want that ball in the end zone.
Yeah, they'll be going for 6. It'll be a pickup of only a yard, and that'll bring up 2nd down. A shotgun snap for Goff. Looking left side, and he's got a man. It's Glover. Now the Texans will burn the first of their timeouts as the clock shows 50 seconds to play here in half number 1. Goff on first down. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down.
You get a tight end like this, and you know he's used to dishing out punishment, but here, he's one that has to absorb the contact, and as a result, unable to hold on to the football.
On 2nd and 10, Goff. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. Now the Texans will use one of their 2 remaining timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. Now a first down throw, Goff. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 33. And the return comes to a halt right at the 44-yard line. He had a little bit of the turnover bug last week. 3 interceptions. Not an absolute disaster, but another one here. Do you start to get a little worried?
You worry about your team as a whole because you have to find a way to make those interceptions quote-unquote go away, and that means your defense. They've got to go out there on sudden change.
Under pressure, and the Texans able to get in there for the sack. The Jaguars going to go ahead and use their first timeout as they get it right at the 30-second mark of this first half. After the sack, it's 2nd and 19, and the road gets a bit tougher from here.
Grade 15, grade 15.
Working from the gun, Wentz. He's going to fire one deep, and that's caught inside the 35. And they do finally get him, but he takes it to the 25. A big play there just before halftime, and even 40 yards. Now the Jags will use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 13 seconds to play in half number 1.
On the ball. Great. Goal.
Wentz now on first down. This is caught, and he doesn't quite make it, taking it within an eyelash. Dropped at the 1. Now a timeout. 7 seconds left in the first half. The 3 red zone trips, 3 touchdowns so far. They'll look for a 4th on 2nd and goal. They come out here in the eye. Wentz, and that is caught. Touchdown, Jacksonville. Calvin Ridley in the final seconds of the first half. And the Jaguars add 6 to their lead.
And that's a lead that excites a team as they head into the half. Good way to finish things off.
Yeah, able to extend that lead, and you always say it, that can totally change the complexion of half number 2.
Yeah, it changes your morale, changes your outlook. But even before that, let's see if they decide to kind of squib kick or what they're going to do on the kickoff, because you don't want to give up a big play right before the half ends.
Good point. Likely time for one final snap as they start out 1st and 10. And with time running short here, they'll simply take a knee, and that should do it for half number 1. There you have it. Halftime quickly over. 3rd quarter, here we go. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And as this offense makes their way back out, NFC playoff race time, we give you a look at what's going on there. And I tell you, 4 weeks still to go, and everything is wide open, and it's fun.
And I know we always talk about, well, if the playoffs were to begin today, and then we kind of go, okay, but they're not. Let's see how it plays out. Wouldn't it be fun to play with this playoff lineup right now? Because to me, just about anyone can win this whole thing out of this grouping we currently have. And by the time we get there, it may look entirely different.
And they'll
go with the ground attack here. And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. It'll be a loss of a yard, and they're going to face a 3rd down.
He has elite instincts from his linebacker spot. He's able to diagnose the run and flies in like a missile to stop that one behind the line of scrimmage.
And he'll be limited to a short gain up to about the 34-yard line. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it's going to leave him with a 4th down.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
Fielded just inside the 20. A good return there, 17 yards. And out will come the offense as they take over. Out comes Calvin Ridley and the offense for their next drive. And as we look at the tape. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. On first down, Wentz. Allen's got it complete. And they bring him to the ground just shy of midfield. Right off the bat, it's a first down to start the drive, 12 yards. On 1st and 10, here's Wentz. Throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete. They don't get the hook up there, but you really have to marvel at how precise he's been throwing the football these last couple weeks.
Oh, that's the perfect word for it, precise. Because if you're at 70% or better 2 weeks in a row, you have a job as long as you want one in this league, won't you? I mean, let's face it, it's not just West Coast offense either. He's putting the ball downfield as well.
Now wins. And incomplete on the deep ball.
One of the toughest things about playing defensive back is pattern reading, trying to figure out what they're doing. And on that one, they had the fly, just sending the guy downfield with the in route accompanying it, what people call a dagger route, trying to hit the guy underneath after the clear out. In this case, though, they're not able to get it done.
Yeah, they said forget the underneath. And he's going to go down. They sack him back at the 42. And how about this? 4th and long, and they're going to go for it. They do go for it. It's Wentz. And he'll find his man on the out route. That's Allen. Boy, a real head-scratcher there. And that will force a turnover on downs. Being just short of midfield, they decide to take a crack at it on 4th down. They don't come through.
Sometimes it's just showing confidence in your defense. You know that they're good, and they'll take care of you. A lot of coaches during the week will announce to their team, we're going to be aggressive, guys. We're going to go for it. Hey, defense, you got me? A little bit of a challenge to them to see if they'll pick up the rest of the team.
We'll see how they respond now. And he'll be tackled right on the midfield logo. 9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits, and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
And there just continues to be nowhere to run. He's bottled up again at the line of scrimmage. Not enough there for a first. No gain, as a matter of fact. And it leaves them at 3rd and 1. On 3rd down. It's Blake, and this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. It'll be a loss of 1, and that'll bring up 4th down.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
Out comes Calvin Ridley and the offense for their next drive. And now he's inching closer to a 200-yard game. He's been so solid.
And he is really denting the pride of the guys playing defense, too, because there's certain barriers that you just don't want to give up. You never want to give up a 100-yard rusher, a 100-yard receiver. He's closing in on 200 yards. Wow.
And now a fumble. The ball's out. Well, he did what he's known for. He made the catch, then he turned into a runner, took the contact, and coughed it up.
And all I remember as a player, when they catch the ball, when those acrobatic guys catch it, you have to make them pay sometimes. You have to put it on them, big tackle, knock the ball free. Anything you can do to slow them down.
And down inside the 15 he goes. A pickup of 11 and a Texans first down.
Well, so much for him being bottled up throughout the day. Finally finds a way to break through and get a really nice gain. The defense had felt great about what they had going. Now they've got to turn their attention to getting it back in that direction. Can they bottle him up again? Because I'd say after that run, confidence is pretty high for him.
And stopped a few yards shy of the goal line at the 3. It's a good gain of 11, sets him up 1st and goal.
We always talk about having to read defenses and how complicated that is. Well, this was an excellent read. Read the pressure and got rid of the football before it even got to him for a nice game.
And when they're blitzing like that, running back usually a good spot to go with a football?
Without a doubt, because he's right in your sight line or he's near you. So you're able to just get it to him easily. And once he gets in space, that's usually a good matchup for him.
He'll get it up the middle. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It'll be a loss of a full 3 yards there, and it also brings up 3rd down. Make it now 3 tackles for a loss in this game, 1 for each quarter.
And for a guy who played defense in college, I can just tell you that he's feeling very satisfied right now by what he's doing.
And that is caught. Touchdown, Texans. In for the score. And the Texans use the short field to their advantage as they cash in for 6. On those slants, everything happens so quickly. What makes it work?
The timing between the passer and the receiver. In this case, a slant route ordinarily is probably about 3 steps before you go on the slant. In this amount of time, I think it was a 2-step deal. Boom, put his foot in the ground and got inside for the pass.
Got inside for the pass, got inside for the catch and the score. This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. Out comes Calvin Ridley and the offense for their next drive. This defense, they wouldn't mind not seeing him again for a while. 3 trips to the end zone. How about that?
I think right now they would happily go to their general manager and say, is there any way you could get a trade for him, bring him over to our teams?
And now nothing but green ahead of him. Touchdown, Jaguars. Calvin Ridley, his 21st touchdown of the season. And the Jaguars add on to their lead. And let's count them up now. 1, 2, 3, 4 touchdown receptions for him in this game.
And just one shy of the NFL record. What a great performance. Going up and catching the football, creating space, and finding the end zone. That's what it's all about.
And they're able to get the connection on the long touchdown pass. And that's one of the easiest drive summaries you'll ever see. One play, touchdown. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes.
Free kick out of bounds. Kicking team.
And that drives coaches insane, doesn't it? When they see that happen, it just doesn't feel right, does it? Plus, you're giving up yardage.
They've got good starting field position as they come up here 1st and 10. From the gun, here's Goff. Throwing right, and that's complete. And he'll be brought down just shy of midfield at the 49-yard line. Give him 9 there on the first down completion.
Seeing that play and understand just how tough it is to cover tight ends, especially the ones running around the NFL nowadays, makes me glad I didn't make it in that league. I would have had a really difficult time.
But now you get to sit up here with me.
Yeah, and that's fun, isn't it? And what a really nice game right there on first down for them. Ends up a nice second down for them.
And they go backwards here, losing yardage back at the 48-yard line.
That was well defended, and while it was a completion, it resulted in a loss of yardage. It's really, really hard for a running back to think to himself, I probably should have just dropped it and saved the yardage. It goes against the entire training that he's had his whole career.
And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. That good for 19 and a first down.
And that run was what a lot of people call an explosive run. Gave them good yardage, solid yardage. They feel good about the whole thing, and they did it behind a 2 tight end set. It's always interesting to watch what offenses want to do with the 2 tight ends. Sometimes they line them up together for a power set. Sometimes they put one on each side of the line of scrimmage to balance things out. No matter what, though, when you see 2 tight ends on the field, your first thought is to think run. In this case, the offense was able to run successfully.
And he got off the end there very quickly to make that play.
Yeah, it was almost like the bullet train, wasn't it? I mean, just zoom. Quick, quick, quick. And what a terrific play, holding them to no gain.
And they'll go ground game here with a tail runner. And now running right through it. And he's going to take this one down to the 25. 8 yards on the run there, and that leaves him with 3rd and just a couple.
So much of the game today, we're looking for hybrid players, guys who can do a combination of jobs. And anyone who plays a strong safety position, now more than ever, is a hybrid-type player. Half defensive back that covers passes and half linebacker that makes tackles. We just saw the linebacker make that play. I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
And his kick is indeed good. And high fives for that one as that drive ends in 3. So his 3rd field goal of the ball game brings him a bit closer, but there's no question they need to start turning some of these 3s into 6s.
And 7s and probably even 8s. You know, as a kicker, you just head out when you're called upon, so he's done his job. It's the rest of the offense that needs to get it in gear if they want to close this gap.
And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. Out comes Calvin Ridley and the offense for their next drive. What a game for him, Charles. 4 touchdowns. Heck, for a lot of guys, that's a good season number.
You're exactly right. And let's face it, we have to stand up and applaud this one, even though we're supposed to be neutral, because this doesn't just happen by accident. This isn't 4 times where the defense just falls down or breaks cover.
And he's going to go down. The Texans come at him and able to bring him to the ground.
Sometimes I watch games and wonder why they use play fakes on certain passing situations, because it's not going to fool anyone. I don't know if that was the case here, but the end result was the same. No one fooled. The quarterback was hit.
Got to imagine the pass rush will be equally intense here on second down following the sack. It's 2nd and 18. Shotgun now for Wentz. Oh, there's that man again. It's complete. Takes this one up past the 20 after he's able to make a man miss. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face third down.
I think that was a pretty good read right there. They caught him in zone defense and went to the hitch. And because they're in zone, that creates a natural space between the defenders and the receiver, able to get it to him quickly and let him get upfield.
And that is going to do it for this third quarter of action. We'll return with more after this break. Back now in Jacksonville. A lot of happy faces in the crowd at this point as their guys have a big lead here to start quarter number 4. Now a play fake. Wentz going deep here for out. And got his man complete. They give him a gain of 38. So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. Throwing on first is Wentz. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. A good pickup there, a 22. And he's top 5 in the league in terms of receiving yardage because of plays like that. What have you seen from him on film that you like so much?
Well, I'll strip away everything else and get to what we call the moment of truth. When the ball's arriving and there's a defender there, he just comes down with the ball. He competes and takes it away. Great hands.
And they're going to get him. He's sacked back around the 28.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
On second down, here's Wentz. And he'll lay out and pull it in. What a diving catch there. A good pickup there, a 22.
Partner, if you and I were playing quarterback in this one, we would be really confident right now throwing it to him, wouldn't we?
Yeah, he's been spectacular. He's just saying, hey, I was all state. I'll make it rain out here. Throwing is Wentz. And this is going to be caught? No, they say it's incomplete.
Okay, I'm not quite sure how to judge that one. Maybe he didn't have enough legs underneath him. Mechanics might have been off. Maybe some fatigue. That one came up short.
Yeah, fourth quarter. Maybe you do start to watch as the arm there, the leg's still there. This has been a tough game. Wentz to throw on second down. Escaping the pressure right. He'll wind up getting 4 there on his own, but it will leave him now with a third down situation.
How about a tip of the cap to the defense? They're working against a very mobile quarterback, but all day long they've kept him under wraps. And on that play, they held him to a short gain.
Wentz now on 3rd and goal. Got his man, it's caught. Touchdown, Jaguars. Calvin Ridley, touchdown number 20. Offensive explosion helped leading them to victory, and